Bring down the mic. State of play reactions. Let's go. Less than 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes before it starts. So 3 minutes and some change. While we wait for this. Fill my water bottle up. Oh shit. They have paper towels. I just spilled no water. Thank God it wasn't a lot. And there's a reason I have no sound because we're not trying to record this part until it actually starts. Mm-hmm. 50 seconds, guys. $30. Let's see what PlayStation has for their state of play for May. Hopefully some good shit. Let's go.
The Silent Hill transmission. I believe it's going to be after the state of play,
yes.
Right?
That's
after
correct.
State of play.
Yep,
so hopefully we'll, if we're not going to see anything from Silent Hill 2 during this state of play, possibly we might see it during the transmission. So as you can see, the timer is set right there. We've we've got 22 seconds till the state of play kicks off, which is super duper exciting. But you know, I'm going to toss things over right now. I want y'all to be sure to stick around though after our live post show, where we will break down everything that gets shown off, and we'll see you then.
Let's go.
Hi everyone, I'm Asad Kizilbash, Head of Product at PlayStation Studios and Head of PlayStation Productions. I'm here to welcome one of the newest members of the PlayStation Studios family, Firewalk. This team brings together some of the most talented developers in our industry, with an incredible pedigree in the online multiplayer space. We announced their first game, Concord, last year, and today they're revealing gameplay captured in-engine on PS5. But first, here's an extended vignette introducing some of the cool characters you'll find in the Concord Galaxy. Enjoy.
All right, Concord. Raider City.
Oh, jukebox.
Wasn't the plan.
It was a spontaneous, creative decision made after years of careful research.
Being really old and almost dying a bunch doesn't count as research.
Almost dying is the best way to learn how not to die. Besides, it worked, didn't it?
How much longer for the upload?
A few more minutes. Hey, start time. Try it with hot sauce. You'll like it. Trust me.
No. Do not trust him.
Whoa. Where's this coming from?
It's coming from you back on the ship saying, trust me, we're professionals. We'll stick to the plan. We can do this. And then, that. That was not the plan.
Technically, it was a plan. It just wasn't the same plan that we started with.
If we don't leave with this blue button...
Tamar, we will. We will.
I'll be waiting outside.
Oh shit.
No one moves. We'll be taking this off your hands.
What? This?
Funny.
Damn.
Slow them down a little for you. Meet at the rendezvous point.
Wait, what? Where's the rendezvous? I didn't catch that.
Copy that, Bill.
Ooh.
Well played.
Fine. They only got one of my legs.
How are those hands? How bad is it? You're still mad at me?
Legs!
Got him.
It cussed at him.
This is you!
Got it.
I am developing a taste for destruction.
Oh damn.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
This would be a very dishonorable way for us all to die.
Don't worry. Nobody's dying dishonorably. And also, we're bringing this back with us. Hey, Mark. What are you doing?
Getting us to the rendezvous point.
Perhaps we should have let go also.
One off. Do not dare.
Well, we were supposed to stick together.
If you
And
let
him
go,
would
I
never leave me.
swear I will bring
Oh,
vengeance.
look, there they are.
I am glad you avoided a dishonorable death.
Almost dying is the best way to learn how not to die. Or something.
I knew this was gonna work.
This wasn't the plan.
No, it just wasn't the one we started with. All right, another satisfied customer. Goods delivered. I sent everyone their cut.
Wait for a second. I thought this is an ad.
Carry it around.
It's called Concord, Ref.
Situations or whatever.
Hey,
It's a new game that's coming out. This is like
joke about something like this.
Our next job is somewhere with less
We'll
scaffolding.
have no scaffolding. Zero scaffolding. I promise. We were apart for so long. I thought I'd never feel your fiery embrace again.
You suck.
it's a multiplayer shooter, I think. Thought they said or something. They're gonna show gameplay of it here in a little bit. But it looks the
Concord is a 5v5 first-person shooter set in the vibrant sci-fi universe of the Concord Galaxy. In Concord, from the moment you log on, you are part of the crew of the North Star, a group of guns for hire known in our galaxy as Free Gunners. Free Gunners are those lucky enough to be free to roam the stars. They take high-stake jobs on worlds across wild space, where they face other fiercely competitive Free Gunner crews. Here's the very first look at the gameplay of Concord.
a 5v5 shooter, like this is like Overwatch.
Work, but it's our work, and we don't take it for granted. Being a free gunner means, well, you're free.
Right on target. Yeah, you better run.
Free gunners have a shot at making something of themselves, a chance to be someone.
All right. Need a second to fix myself up.
Why not?
And in the wilds, it's anyone's game. You won't survive on your own.
Target blinded.
Haybar seems kind of fun. Oh, dude.
Finally, to battle. Endless rage!
We risk our lives every day to do the job.
I'll clear the way.
One off.
Time to show them the big guns. That's me.
This crew will go anywhere. Take any job,
Damn.
face any enemy. We're the Free Gunner crew of the North Star. And together, we're going to make our mark on this galaxy.
People are gonna be disgusting with that sniper shake.
The crew is gathering. Would you like to join us for game night?
With Concord, we leaned on the strengths and background of our team to make a tight, well-balanced FPS that feels great to play. We focused a ton of our attention and our tech on building a strong gameplay foundation of tight core movement, precise visceral shooting, and expressive abilities.
We ended up finding ourselves influenced a lot by fighting games and even strategy games in the interesting way that the asymmetry of their characters makes every fight, every matchup feel really different.
Leaning into the asymmetry of the characters, really pushing the possibility space of two different characters colliding. It's all about creating opportunities for improvisation. That's where we can get out of the way and let players find their own magic. We also have abilities that are meant to have impact beyond direct combat. Deployable gear that can persist throughout a full game, so whether that's multiple rounds of a mode or multiple respawns across a match. There are healing pads, bullet blocking domes, explosive traps, lane blocking walls, all kinds of ways to support your team or disrupt your enemies. Coordinated teams can set up and plan ahead, and depending on where and when it happens, players can shift the battlefield to their advantage.
We've got everything from mystics and medics to gunslingers and sparked robots. Every
Damn.
character brings their own unique personality, skills, and wide-ranging perspectives to the crew. Every week, when you log into Concord, you will be welcomed with a new cinematic vignette that will give you a chance to see our characters off the job. They will feature ongoing narrative arcs that grow the characters' stories and relationships and unpack the broader Concord galaxy.
Why are you kissing a tchotchke?
We're excited to share that we'll be hosting a pre-launch beta in July, followed by Concord's global launch on August 23rd, 2024.
Okay. I may have to check the game out. Coming to PC as well. Beta early access for you and 4 friends. Oh yeah. That actually looks kind of fun.
You seem like a calm and reasonable person. Are you?
Oh.
A calm and
Reasonable person. God of War Ragnarok on PC.
You don't really want war, do you, Kratos?
War is coming. The prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok.
Unlock the frame rate.
You will die, Kratos of Sparta.
Death can have me when it earns me.
Odin's got tricks up his sleeve we haven't dared to consider.
Super ultra wide support. Okay. Includes Valhalla DLC.
Fate only binds you if you let it. Do what is necessary. Not because it is written.
September. Oh yeah, what I'm waiting for. I think this is what I'm waiting for. No, it's not. Never mind. Interested in what this is though.
Soldiers and officials alike.
Dynasty Warriors.
For personal gain.
Oh, it is Dynasty Warriors.
Turn to thievery for food. Perhaps this is heaven's way of lamenting the state of the land.
We're getting a new Dynasty Warriors? Okay, I'm hyped.
But even so, someone must act.
Is this Empires? Let's fucking go. I'm totally getting this. If it's good. The last one I played was The World of Chaos. Yep. A Nameless Hero Rises. Okay. Origins. Coming 2025, PS5. I will be getting that game. That's something new.
Momo, I think I was dreaming.
Yo.
It wasn't a dream. We were really transported to Mirrorland.
The path of a stylist is never easy. So, are you ready for it?
Ready.
We're ready. Ready.
Oh, this doesn't look great. I used to play the Dynasty Warriors back on like console, like PlayStation 4, like when it was Dynasty Warriors 4. Showing my age, when it was really good. And then the last one I played with Dynasty Warriors, I think 9. It was just awfully done on PC. So hopefully this one with Origins looks interesting.
Is it you who pursues infinity? Or is infinity awaiting you?
Stars. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong game. Elden Ring, Josie? No.
Until the towering shadows vanished into the mist.
I pray for their grace. But all that
Yeah, PS2. Same one, same that I did. But a couple years ago I bought, the Dynasty Warriors 9. This looks interesting. But I never played. I bought it and I saw it on my Steam and it just did bad, like awful. Like the way the game was played was just terrible. So I'm hoping Origins, they're going back to like the old style, like where it's, like it's, you know what I'm saying, a refresh of the original way it was played, because that looked awesome. What is this game? New Souls game? Another Souls-like game, I should say.
No matter what happens, we did not betray this world.
Ballad of Atanira. Oh snap! What's up, Lenol? Yeah, that looks interesting. It looks like another Souls-like game, but it's. We'll see. We'll have to see. I'm interested in the Dynasty Warriors thing so far. It's the only thing I was really interested in so far. And Concord. Concord looks interesting too.
I thought I could be a hero and break the curse.
Oh, it's VR. Never mind.
There's no hope here. And the gods that walk among us thirst for death.
This looks interesting, but I think it's VR, or it's VR, and I don't have VR.
The poison in my veins begs me to kill.
I'll put you in the ground. The power of our God is immeasurable.
Thought I could be a hero. But heroes don't survive the Forsaken Lands. Only monsters do.
It's me, Tay. My name is not easy to pronounce. Oh, what's up, Tay? Why are you not on Twitch? But I appreciate you stopping over here in my YouTube chat. Actually, yeah. Oh, did you guys hear that Twitch is actually, or Amazon's actually making Twitch Primes give streamers less money now? I think in the States we get like. Okay, fair enough. All good, man.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, so we get like in the States, if you Prime sub to somebody, you get like they get like $1 less.
Coming to PlayStation, starting with a highly anticipated PvP shooter, playable soon on PS.
Because they're not Twitch isn't making money. So they're basically so they're bumping the price back so that they make more money off of it. Which in a business standpoint, it makes sense because they were losing money with Twitch as it was anyway. But it just sucks for the streamers. Yeah, but they bumped it for other countries. Yeah. Rivals. Yeah. And then they also on TikTok. I don't know if you guys are content creators, but apparently, like on TikTok now, they've actually changed the like. So like if you make, there's a cap now of how much money you can make a month or whatever per video. I was watching one of the big content creators over there. He was like showing the prices. Like he made like $1,000 off of like one video at the beginning of the month, and then he posted another video like halfway through the month. That did really well too, and he only got like 12 cents for the video. So apparently there's like a limit to like how much money you can make on TikTok now a month. So you're better off to like say posting like good content like when once you get big onto like TikTok to like just I'm not interested in this game at all. It's superheroes, it's cool, but it's I think Concord looked more fun than this. But yeah, so like even TikTok's like capping off money creations. So like I guess like the big moneymaker really now is YouTube. I think. Like where you're like where you can, I mean TikTok still is good. But like they're taking back like cuts on things. So even TikTok is losing, like you could possibly lose out on money on TikTok. Potential money, I should say. What's this? There's a lot of like Japanese style games. Oh shit. Coming out like Chinese style Japanese like fighting like Souls-like games. Cool. Oh, cool. Mythology fishing simulator. I would not. I don't know how I feel about this one yet because it didn't. Where winds meet. I'd have to keep my eye on that one. I'm not sure how I feel about that one. It looked cool, but we'll see.
Hello, friends and fans. I'm super excited to welcome all my pals back to the annual Blackwood Winter Getaway.
Yo!
Nice one.
Oh wait, this is the remaster. Oh god.
It means so much to me that we're
Okay.
still here together.
Fight the break of dawn.
I feel like someone's watching us.
I thought this was like a sequel. This is the remaster, the remastered version of the Until Dawn.
Mike, Emily.
That was shown way back. It was a wild game to watch.
I don't want to make hasty decisions that get everyone.
I don't know. I don't know if it's me or this the quality of this of these videos clips. It looks worse than what it did. Oh, it's coming to PS5 and PC. Never mind. It's not even a remaster. I don't know, it just looked worse. Like that video quality look, I guess maybe. Path of Exiles 2 content. Ooh. All you Path of Exile fans out there.
Ogum was once a peaceful land. But each day descends further into madness. Famine and plague besiege us. The very earth is being poisoned.
The Count's men. Once I'll protect this.
I wasn't a big fan of it. My buddies are a big fan of it though. It's another Diablo style type game. I'm sure my buddies will be playing it though. So
I must be the one to face this nightmare. No noose this time. I'll remove your head myself. But I need not do it alone.
couch co-op. Oh, it's on console now. Crossplay too? What? Couch co-op and crossplay. Early access late 2024. Meh.
Excuse me.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry.
Is this the?
It's okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost.
Oh shit! This is Silent Hill.
Silent Hill.
The remake.
Stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it?
Is it dangerous?
Maybe.
I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
I guess I don't really.
Yeah, it's Silent Hill 2 remake.
I'm going either way.
They're finally showing it off.
No, you shouldn't be here.
Oh shit. It looks nice. It's definitely got the RE2 remake style. Like feel. Silent hiccups.
Promise. Tell him I'll be good, please. No, please.
October. That's the day before my birthday. It comes out the day before my birthday. Nice.
Capcom announced this next game last December, offering just a glimpse of what's in store for their celebrated franchise. Today, I am so excited to share the first full gameplay trailer for Monster Hunter Wilds.
Okay. Monster Hunter.
As soon as we find a good spot, we can get things set up and ready to go. And then we can get started.
This is gonna be great.
You bet.
I hope we find them soon.
All right, Capcom.
Incredible. I've never heard of a Karatnoth herd this big before.
One of them's got big spikes on its back.
Now to lead it away from the pack. We'll make for the desert.
Right. The sandstorm.
Oh shit. Yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds.
By order of the guild.
It looks really slow paced in this one. Besides, like on the when you're on the mount. Yeah.
I've selected you as a lead hunter for this expedition.
Thank you, sir.
Maybe. Next year. We got time. Maybe. We'll see how we'll watch it. Oh no. Oh? The hell?
What did you say your name was?
They're trying to make another like Aw. I don't know if I'm interested in it or this is weird. Astrobot. Huh. September. I don't know how I feel about that one.
Be sure to visit PlayStation Blog for more on the games you just saw, as well as PlayStation.com for the latest on Days of Play. This global celebration runs through June 12th, with deals on PlayStation Store, great new content coming to PlayStation Plus, and much more.
Was that it? That's okay. That was it.
PlayStation.
Oh my goodness, welcome back everyone. That was Sony's 2024 Summer State of Play presentation. They pretty much just kicked down the doors for games here. We saw 14 games exactly. 14 games exactly, and I think the one that kind of takes the cake has to be Astrobot.
Just Astrobot.
Astrobot. That's it. Like he's getting rid of everything else after that. So I'm gonna do a quick rundown. Then we'll talk about let's gush over Astrobot. We saw Concord, Ragnarok on PC, Dynasty Warriors Origins, Infinity Nikki, Ballad of Antara, Skydance's Behemoth, Alien Rogue Incursion for PSVR 2, Marvel Rivals, Where Winds Meet Until Dawn, Path of Exile 2, Silent Hill 2 Remake, my favorite, Monster Hunter Wilds, and Astrobot. Well, what are our thoughts of Astrobot? On Astrobot, Damon?
I'm so excited.
Yeah?
I love Astro's Playroom, but perhaps more importantly, my 4-year-old son has 100%ed Astro's Playroom multiple times. So he's the one that's going to be most excited when I tell him tonight that there's a new Astrobot game coming. And it looks like it's going to be a full 3D platformer because they're showing us so many bosses and different levels.
Whoa.
Wow. That's how excited we are. We're so excited about it.
Breaking into the studio, but Jada, what
do you think? That was great.
Like Damon was saying, they showed so much, so many biomes, so many.
I thought it was me for a second, but no, it was definitely them.
Character, the cameos, like I cannot wait for this. Like we've put Astro's Playroom on so many like top PS5 playlists for so long, and it's finally started to move down the list because of so many other games that have come out. But this is its chance to reclaim its spot in that top like 10 potentially of PS5 releases.
And it doesn't really look like it's going to relent on that placement because just based on that snippet we saw, it just looks like, yeah, they know exactly what they're doing with Astrobot. This looks like exactly more of what we already got a taste of with Playroom, and it reeks of charm. It is just so filled with joy and celebration of PlayStation is what really made Astro's Playroom stand out. I'm curious to see what they charge for this, if this will be a $69.99 title.
Well, do you think it's going to be a full, like Mario-sized 3D platformer?
Based on what we saw, that looked like a lot of stuff, man.
We got a lot in this, and you know, I like what you said, Nick. This is like a celebration of all things PlayStation. Like we even saw like quite the throwback. Parappa the Rapper. We saw that skin in this.
I could have swore I saw Spike from Ape Escape somewhere in the background.
I think I might play some Smash. I gotta refix my. I gotta check my account and stuff though first.
To me about Astrobot is that it really harkens back to that PS1 era where PlayStation was willing to get more experimental with weirder games and kind of revisiting the platform.
I have to re-unlock all the characters.
Kind of made the brand what it is to some extent. And now they got a brand new flashy mascot to wave the PlayStation 5 banner, and I wonder if we can see new hardware in here somewhere in this final still.
I mean, that is a new build. I never seen a PS5 with those things on, with turrets on the
DualSense,
whatever
DualSense Edge 2.
Yeah. Now there was one member missing though of the PlayStation family. Where's my boy, my Sack boy?
Sad boy.
Sad.
Oh, sad.
Where's my sad
He's
boy?
a sad boy, that's
I don't
right.
think anyone was sad seeing that at all. But like, yeah, where's Sackboy?
I mean, there's got to be a level dedicated to Dreams, right? Dreams with Sackboy somewhere in there. Yeah. It all makes sense. It's all part of the PlayStation family.
Yeah. Now we definitely saw a lot. So I kind of want to just like break down and go through everything that we saw, but I want to start with you, Damon. Let's talk about some of the things, highlights for you.
So in addition to Astrobot, I also liked what I saw, Ballad of Antara, I guess?
Antara, yes.
And this is a true surprise because when I Googled, immediately after that trailer, I Googled Ballad of Antara, 0 results. So this was actually kept under wraps until the state of play. It's another, it's a big 3D action adventure game. Maybe it has some Souls-like elements to the combat, but it looks, it's beautiful, looks very cool. I think the combat looks great. I like the idea of, I think there are 2 protagonists that I see, at least 2. There's this
Oh,
gentleman
shit.
who's carrying a child around on their back, and I'm going to spend the whole game being terribly worried about that child and all the weapons and monsters that are coming after them. And then I think there's also a female protagonist that you can play as too that we see here. So this just looks like, in your realms of your where winds meet.
Yeah.
That's the other game. That is kind of similar to that, third person action game, Stellar Blade, Black Myth Wukong, that sort of style of game, I think. And this one looks really good.
Yeah, I feel, looking at this game, it gives me Jada vibes. I feel like this is like up your alley for sure.
This is 100% up my alley.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to really be one of those games where it's parry heavy, very combat, dodge, timing is going to be very important. Lots of cool abilities that you can mix and match. Like, this definitely looks like my kind of game.
They're updating they're updating a little bit of Hogwarts Legacy stuff, but it's nothing like they're adding a couple like costumes, cosmetics and stuff. And then they're adding like one quest that was already for the PlayStation had for DLC for the beginning of the game.
Every time I get new footage of it, Where Winds Meet, as Damon pointed out a little bit earlier, just looks incredible. It looks like a game that is like it looks fake to me as far as how good it looks. Like the CG footage like seamlessly blending in with the actual gameplay. It's like, believe it or not, the game does actually look like that. It is this sprawling open world action RPG that looks very heavily inspired by a lot of Chinese myth and a lot of in there with them kind of taking to the top of the bamboo stalks. But yeah, we had a pretty extended demo of it at Gamescom last year, and again, it just looks like a game that should not be able to exist on modern hardware. One thing that the trailer didn't even dive into is just the complicated chemistry system that is kind of similarly evocative of like Breath of the Wild, where if you set something on fire, things will spread and it can, catch on animals and stuff like that. I remember we accidentally set a bunch of ducks on fire at Gamescom.
You monster.
I didn't do it, but somebody else at IGN did. You can get mauled by bears, and that's just animal stuff that's like NPC overworld stuff. This gave us a lot more of a closer look at what I assume is boss combat, which also looks just like it could be an entire its own like wushu movie in itself. So just looks impressive all around.
Jada, what was your takeaway on this one?
I think I said right before we kicked to the show, Monster Hunter Wild shows up. That's going to be my pick, and it showed up towards the end.
Yes,
and it looks fantastic. It looks much more cinematic than Monster Hunter's ever looked. I was telling Nick while we were watching it, it looks a lot like Final Fantasy 16 kind of vibes, where it was just very cinematic with all these big blows and attacks that you're landing. And the new creatures look fantastic. The graphics look amazing.
Yeah, it looked pretty impressive because like I've not played anywhere near enough Monster Hunter as you, but one thing that stood out to me is in the kind of hunt segments that we saw showcased, it seems like there's a lot of bespoke animations tied to each specific hunt. Like we saw him holding that bear-looking creature's mouth open with the blade, which I don't think I've ever seen like a cinematic presentation in that regard. That almost felt like it seamlessly blended between gameplay and cinematic. So pretty cool looking stuff.
Yeah, I'm over the moon for this one. I cannot wait for Monster Hunter Wilds. Can't get here soon enough.
Yeah, well, it's coming in 2025, so.
Not soon enough.
You got some waiting to do.
I don't want to wait.
Well, I'm sorry. Maybe there's a beta test. I don't know. I can't help you here.
Capcom.
I'm not Capcom.
Capcom, help me.
Obviously, I think everyone knows that there's no secret. I haven't been silent about what's been my favorite. I'm kind of over the hill with what's been my favorite. Of course, I'm talking about.
But you've been nothing but silent about it.
No, Concord. No, Silent Hill 2, of course. Whoops. Yeah, Silent Hill 2 was my favorite. Silent Hill 2 remake that's coming out. We actually got like a release date for it, October 8th. 2024.
Perfect time.
The spooky season, which is exciting. Honestly, I can't wait for this. We also got gameplay footage, which I think we've been waiting for that for the longest time. Jada, I know you're probably not the biggest Silent Hill fan, but what did you think when you saw that gameplay?
It looks good. I mean, it's like you said, I'm not a big Silent Hill fan, it's just one of those series that I was like, when I was younger, I skewed into the Resident Evil and just never looked back. Despite enjoying some of Silent Hill, but it just never has been one that was like, oh, I can't wait for that next Silent Hill. And I'm glad it wasn't me because there were so few and far between for a while.
Yeah.
But it looks good. It looks like what we expect for a game being revamped for modern hardware.
Yeah, and We're gonna get a lot more during the transmission. Is my
the ignition.
Is it ignition?
No, it's transmission.
Come on, bring me off again. Gee, something like it's transmission, ignition. I don't get the naming of these things. But no, we're definitely gonna get a lot more information and details on this. Also, the other games that are coming out of the whole Silent Hill universe. Probably an update on Silent Hill Ascension, which I'm probably the only one on staff that's been keeping up.
Are you
with Silent
watching
Hill
it?
Yes.
That's the TV show,
They're
right?
doing like a what if type thing now. So there's like new paths.
Don't they also have a Silent Hill If coming out? It's like If set in like
F.
It's just called F. All right.
Just F.
But it's like in like 80s Japan or something like that.
I'm not sure.
It looks that the concept art really stood out to me. But going back to the Silent Hill 2 remake, I adore the original Silent Hill 2. One thing, I wasn't a giant fan of the medium. I think that Bloober Team did a good job of kind of having a striking visual style for that game. It looked very impressive and very evocative of its like cinematic camera angle, third person, like fixed camera stuff, along with their split screen that made the medium like, oh, this is the thing to this game. One thing I'm a little bit worried about with Bloober's take on Silent Hill 2 Remake is that they seem to be putting a lot more emphasis on the combat, the Resident Evil remake-ification of Silent Hill, whereas the original game wasn't really about combat. In fact, the combat was what was kind of clunky about the original game, but that's where the tension was, right? And I think that Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and 4 Remake kind of accounted for that in its design. So I'm curious if Bloober will be able to take that into account.
I think from what I've seen, it seems like they're going to do that because, like, the thing is, you're playing as an individual who has no combat franchise, both 1 and 2, even 3, even 4. Actually, all of them, all of the ones that I've played. Because this guy, he's not skilled with a gun, as you can clearly see. He's not skilled with a pipe.
He seemed to effortlessly take down that monster, though.
He knows.
But maybe this is a few hours into the game.
But he's no Leon Kennedy.
They're useless without their heads.
Yes, he's not good at headshots. So yeah, looking forward to this. We're probably going to get some more information. But let's talk about what we saw up top, because this was something that we were hoping that we were going to see. The first thing we saw was Concord.
So, but before we move on to Concord, I do want to mention one thing I do like about Bloober Team handling Silent Hill.
All right.
Is that they did the Blair Witch Project.
Yes.
And I really liked a lot of their puzzle elements that they added into the game. There's some really cool elements and mechanics they had into it. And so I'm really interested to see how those are going to reflect into Silent Hill 2. I was going to say Silent Hill 2 transmission. You got me saying, wanting to say transmission now every time I say Silent Hill.
Well, that's good.
One sec, guys. I'm trying to log into my Nintendo and stuff.
Some experience with
Ooh, maybe I'll pick up.
I think the thing is, what's up?
I was just gonna say, from the visuals that we've seen here, I think it looks on par with the recent Resident Evil remakes. At least I know it's a small slice and we're not actually playing it, but it looks very, very good to me.
Yeah, well, look, it's always going to be compared to Resident Evil, and I hate that we have to, but we definitely have to compare it to.
But Silent Hill is also known more for its tone, right? Like the ambiance and just the general feeling of dread, and that's a thing that I'm holding my reservations about, and I'm seeing some scary stuff on screen, but just showing scary is one thing, but actually building that dread is, I think, where Bloober can have their chance to shine with this remake.
I think that's where Silent Hill has kind of always shined for me over Resident Evil. Like, there's very few times, like, yes, Resident Evil has its moments of it's jump scared or even scarred at times from a Resident Evil as much as I have from a Silent Hill game. There's so many moments where Silent Hill, you're like walk into a room and then everything just changes. And it's just like, oh, crap.
Yeah. And it looks like they've definitely moved away from that whole fixed camera, which the original game was known for. Which, again, I think it was like what you were saying, Nick, like the whole Resident Evil-fication of it all, which I'm totally here for. But again, I do miss those fixed cameras. But let's move along. I want us to talk a little bit, because we're running short on time. I want us to talk about Concord for sure.
I don't want to move on yet.
What do you mean?
I know I'm not a big Silent Hill fan, but I want to talk more about Silent Hill for you.
Why?
Because it's important to you.
Yes, it is.
Right?
I want to. Yes.
Do you remember if it's a transmission after the show or if an ignition?
It's a transmission. Yes. Also, we still have a movie.
We have a movie?
Yeah, there is a movie still in the works, which people were talking about. It was supposed to be tied into the game, but I mean, obviously, it's based on Silent Hill 2. But I don't think we don't have any indication
There's not
of when
too
the
much
movie's
about,
coming out.
not too
What,
many
what
details.
was your first Silent Hill?
It was probably 1.
1? Okay. I was just curious.
The
I wasn't
initial
sure if you
one.
played 1 first or if you played 2 first. Like,
No,
Okay.
1 all the way. Speaking of 1, that was 1. Hey, there's lots more to unpack from Sony State of Play today, and we're going to right after this quick break. So I want y'all to stick around for the post show because we got plenty more.
This June, IGN is hosting a huge in-person event, and we want you there with us. IGN Live brings the coolest things in games and entertainment to you, the fans. And it's jam-packed with awesome, like the cast and director of the upcoming Borderlands movie, the creator of Tetris, Alexei Pajitnov, Xbox's Phil Spencer, great games from PM Studios, new stuff from High on Life, Netflix's Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F.
I'm gonna be fine. They love me in Beverly Hills.
Plus tons of giveaways and prizes, exclusive merch, playable game demos, celebrity interviews, live speedruns, your favorite IGN podcast in person.
I like that he's fired up.
And so much more. It all goes down June 7th through 9th at the Magic Box in downtown LA. Tickets are available now at IGN.com/live. IGN Live. Be there.
IGN has the most thorough, easy-to-use, and high-tech maps out there, period. And by high-tech, we mean it. We've recently added features like personal notes that save to your IGN account and a region selection tool that lets you cruise around the biggest maps with ease. IGN maps load faster with more markers than ever and are built for your phone as your constant companion to the biggest games. So start checking off markers for the games you are playing for free at IGN Maps today.
What's up, everybody? I will be hosting at IGN Live with all my pals over at IGN. We'll have first looks at brand new games, casts on hand for shows and movies like Borderlands. There'll be live tapings of IGN podcasts, meet and greets with fans, a DJ, and tons of giveaways. By now you're like, okay, Sid, yes, I'm in. Which good, because IGN also gave me some free tickets. All you have to do is use my code ROLLTHETHING, that's all one word, over at IGN.com/live. See you there.
All right, and we are back for more. Me, Jada, Nick, and Damon. We are recapping that big PlayStation State of Play. We got lots of games.
Also, guys, I'm trying to.
You didn't want me to get to it because you were just you were like you love Silent Hill
so much,
too.
so much.
Keep talking about
It's
it,
the
but
best.
can we finally talk about the first game, Concord?
Concord?
Yes.
Concord.
Yes.
Like the city.
I want to talk about. No, we're not talking about the city. Of course, we're talking about the game from Firewalk, which is a 5v5 FPS set in the Concord. Is that the universe? Did they call it a
I think
universe?
they said the galaxy.
The galaxy of well, this is all new to us. But Damon, you were talking about this earlier. How like you wanted to get a little bit more than just a cheeseburger, and I think you kind of did.
Yeah, more than cheeseburger. It's an Overwatch-like. Actually, there are two Overwatch-likes in the show today. So. It's a crowded market. It's tough to find an audience, I think, today. However, as a tone piece, I liked what I saw here. It was fun. It's got a Star Wars and Guardians of the Galaxy vibe, so maybe that's enough. It's got some humor in there too. Maybe that's enough to sort of set it apart. But it's just there are a lot of Overwatch likes already.
Yeah.
So we know it's coming in August and it's coming day and date to PC, so that'll be a big help to them, just like Helldivers 2 was.
Now, Nick. I'm curious what you thought of this. I feel like from what we saw, like the trailer, there was a lot of personality. But like Damon said, like this kind of genre is kind of stacked already.
It's a crowded market, and I kind of talked about it a little bit in the pre-show right now. But anyone who's making a multiplayer game right now, it's hard. It's a crowded marketplace, and unless your name is consistent for a game as a service, because I mean, I'm sure that they have a, you know, whatever their week one strategy is for Concord, I'm sure it's going to be exciting and a great showcase for Concord. But like, I feel like where it's going to shine is in its week 2, week 3 kind of presentation, because that kind of goes back to my original thoughts looking at this is like, they're spending a lot of time on this cinematic that's kind of setting up this story and this galaxy and this tone and this setting. The release cadence of dedicated cutscenes and story cinematics that is going to update on a week-to-week basis, which is cool, but it just seems a little strange.
It seems very ambitious.
And risky.
Yes, very risky as well. We've seen Helldivers 2 came out, and we were getting new patches, new updates. Seemed like every 2.5, 3 weeks. And now they're starting to slow that cadence down. But it also carried them to, what, 12 million sales in like 12 weeks? So, I mean, if that's the blueprint that they're following and to buy into this, then maybe it's the right strategy. But every week is different from every 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That is a very tight schedule.
It's a lot to promise. A new cinematic every week.
Yeah, a new cinematic vignette every single week, every single time you log in, or every week that you log in.
Yeah.
That's right. Like I feel. So what happens if you miss a week?
I
think this. You were saying that when we were watching this, Jada. Like, what happens if you miss a week? So do you just miss that story, or
do you fall behind that week?
I don't think Concord heads are going to miss a week, though. You know, I think they're going to
give them a name.
Yeah, we're
got to be a better name than that. We're workshopping that one. We're workshopping that one.
Concordians.
Concordians. See, that's already better.
There you go.
Led by Weird Al.
Concordians are going to, like, if you're already sold by that trailer, there's no doubt in my mind that you will be there for the weekly release cadence. Where I think Concord is going to have a hard time winning a new audience is, again, somebody who's like, yeah, my buddies are playing this, I guess I'll check it out kind of thing. Like, how do you get somebody who's walking in on week 4 invested in your kind of your story-based mission, Overwatch-like looking game? One thing that does stand out to me based on some of the gameplay that we saw is it looks like it has a pretty solid look and feel for the game. And obviously, I've not played the game, so that's a very bold statement, but based on everything I saw, it was very evocative of like, oh yeah, this looks like it feels good to play. There is a lightness to the movement. There is a deftness to its jumps, and the sound design really stood out to me. And one thing we were watching, and I was like, hey, if nothing else, this is one of the most legible shooters I think I've seen in a long time, where I can look at a screenshot and be like, yeah, I know exactly what's happening here. I know who's where and who controls the situation. And I think that's important if you want to make a game that wants to stand on its own legs as a competitive game.
Yeah, I think the way they're going to win people over, though, is like just with the characters. Like each character that we saw they have very distinct personalities. Like I want to know more about Starchild. He was the big buff dude with the red protruding forehead. You know, I want to know more about him. I want to know more about. I think his name was Haymar.
Haymar?
The guy, the green guy.
That sounds like
the
a
green guy who loves hot sauce. You know, I want to know more about him.
That's a green guy, by the way.
That is a green guy.
Hold on. We're not going to let this die. One thing, though, but to your point, though, Akeem, like, I think Concord lives and dies based on how it's able to integrate that personality it's showcasing in its cutscenes and, you know, impressive cinematics in its gameplay. Is that actually going to get a chance to shine, or is it like Overwatch where the story cutscenes drop, you know, once every 4 months and we get a slight update to the lore?
I was going to bring that point up because a big part of Overwatch's fandom was people growing attached to their favorite characters, buying the merch for their favorite characters, cosplaying in their favorite characters, and we get these really cool cinematics, these amazing cinematics, but they were so far apart that it just kind of started to lose a lot of the oomph out of the story and caring more about these characters. So if they can keep these 1 week cadences up for the cutscenes every week, I think, you know, they might have a better shot at succeeding where Overwatch failed in that aspect.
And it sucks that we're always comparing it to Overwatch, but I mean, you look at that hero select screen, and it is like almost 1-to-1 down to how many character slots there were. I am a little surprised they didn't show more than 4 characters, as at least like a snapshot of okay, what is the kind of asymmetrical balance that you're going for here? Like the developers seem to fully acknowledge that we are developing an asymmetrical multiplayer game and leaning into that. But I want to know, like, I see this team dynamic and this team build, and I understand that. But this seems to hit all the archetypes of a hero shooter already. So what other toys do we have to play with in the Concord Galaxy?
Yes. I'm kind of curious because well, one of the game devs did say that they were inspired by fighting games and of course other shooters. I'm curious about the fighting game aspect, a portion of this game, like what. Like a Street Fighter?
I think it's the inspiration of just having like counters, like that kind of counterplay between characters.
Or differentiating characters also.
Also reading movement too, right? Like you know when someone's gonna wind up for their ult or whatever, and how you kind of balance that. Like we saw there was like somebody was using like a blizzard gun, some sort of freeze gun, but another character would like transition to a third-person FOV and was like doing somersaults to avoid it. So it's like they really are hoping that the game is gonna shine in those kind of player-authored moments that was like, oh man, I pulled off something sick that is not something that the developers told me that I could do, but it's just I figured it out in the moment, and that's where competitive games shine, in my opinion. You create your own personal moments.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, we're looking forward to checking out the beta, which I believe is dropping in July, with the game launching in August. Now, after that, we saw something else. My God, did we see something else?
Yes, that's kind of the definition of one thing and then another. Something else.
Well, my God, we saw something else indeed. We saw God of War Ragnarok is coming to PC, which, hey, congratulations, PC owners. You can now enjoy what I've been enjoying for a very long time already.
You're just going to antagonize the PC?
That's not how is that being?
But see, this is where the beauty of it lies, though. They're going to be able to play it at native 4K resolution at 144 frames a second per second on their ultra-wide monitor.
Yes, Jada, you were talking about that.
That was my one question when it popped up. It was like, am I going to be able to take full advantage of my ultra-wide monitor for this? And they answered that. So I was like, all right, I might have to double dip. It's very hard to get me to double dip, but ultra-wide is one of those things I do really enjoy.
And based on PlayStation's track record for their PC ports, like they've been doing a pretty top-notch job of making sure PC players felt like they were taken care of. There was that initial disastrous launch of Horizon Zero Dawn, the original game, on PC, but since then, it seems like they really revamped their PC porting process. And God of War, the original God of War 2018, runs immaculately. Helldivers 2 runs incredible. Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon Forbidden West.
Why has it not sent me this damn email?
Right? So like, this just feels like the natural conclusion. Again, this entire presentation seemed to reinforce the entirety of the new is it CEO and COO?
Co-CEOs.
Co-CEOs Herman Hulst date on PC versus when single-player games will make their way to PC eventually. This seemed to just underline everything he said in that statement not so long ago.
Yeah, now I'm super excited for this one for one reason only. Damon, I don't know if you can see where I'm going with this. The mods. I feel like we're gonna
join the console
on the daily fix, seeing what the modding community cook up within this world. Because they're already thinking about it. They already got their wheels rolling right now.
Dude, they're gonna throw Marvel Rivals as Thor as Thor.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes, I want to see that. So yeah, moving along. I know Jada, you were kind of excited about this. The next game that we saw was Dynasty Warriors Origins.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm excited for.
So when I came up in the game industry doing a lot of freelance reviews, I played that was like my first 10 reviews were all like Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, those kind of games.
Yeah.
So this one kind of has a special place in my heart because it always reminds me of where I got my start. This looks fantastic, and it looks to be one of those games that really takes advantage of the PS5 and just being able to have so many moving parts on screen at once. So I'm very excited for this, and being able to play that one co-op with a friend or my partner, I think it's going to be great.
It looks kind of chaotic, I would say.
It's meant to be chaotic. That is the whole point of
That's
Dynasty
war,
Warriors.
Akeem.
War is chaos, dude.
All right, let's see. So after that, we got Infinity Nikki. We got Ballad of Antara, which we spoke about earlier. Now we're getting to the PSVR 2 section. We saw 2 PSVR 2 games. We got Alien Rogue Incursion and Skydance's Behemoth, which I'm in love with that game.
That looked very cool.
It looked it looked like a reason to own a PSVR 2.
Maybe
100%. Yeah.
And it's coming
Are
from.
you happy now, James?
I'm very happy. This is something we've been talking about.
Are you gonna crack it out of the box
It's
finally?
it's been out of the box. I told you I've been playing Beat Saber, I've been playing
Yeah.
Call of the Mountain, a couple other VR stuff. Like this is something we've been talking about on Beyond for what, months now? Since it released and that ominous box appeared on the table, and no one knew what was in that. It was a PSVR 2. Jada never opened it. It was a while.
But this, but yeah, it looks amazing. Right now we're showing footage from Alien Rogue Incursion, which also looks pretty good
and scary.
It looks very scary. Is this enough though to move the needle for you to actually?
I don't know. I
keep that box open and
it's already open and out on your table. At
yes,
that
it
point,
is all set up. I've got a dock and everything. It's all set up to recharge it, like a recharging station. It's great. I don't know. I'm not a huge Alien fan. Like I love the movies, but I've never been a huge fan of the games, like overall. So who knows? We'll see. Maybe this one will, if I get a game code or something like that, like we do sometimes, that'll definitely get me to play it.
Going to Behemoth though, like I know everyone likes to tout like Half-Life Alyx as this, oh, this is the advent of PlayStation VR. Like this is truly a showcase of the technology. I would encourage them to also check out The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, which is the developer behind Behemoth.
Introducing the new
Walking
Cantina.
Dead Saints and Sinners, believe it or not, it is a licensed property, but it is an outstanding showcase of PlayStation VR where you are rummaging through drawers, looking for ammo, trying to reload your gun in the middle of a zombie invasion. So based on that caliber alone has me excited for Behemoth because those people know what they're doing with PlayStation VR.
Well, we should cover why Behemoth looks so cool. So it's like fantasy action game with huge sense of scale, huge monsters, and I am a big fan of big monsters. And also you can punch off heads or slice heads in half.
Yes. Yep.
And that's also very cool.
Also, can we grabbed an arrow?
Use a grapple hook to pull an arrow back, and then you can knock your bow with it, and just dude,
Nick, that's called a web slinger.
The web slinger. Apologies.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Also, if you're not a fan of VR, you can also get Shadow of the Colossus and still get that same experience of getting like that scale. Which as a fan of that particular game, that's what made me like in awe of just what we were seeing on screen. And like, are you gonna be able to climb this massive whatever? I don't know what type of monsters they're.
He looked kind of Squidward-like.
A behemoth.
It's a behemoth.
It was a behemoth.
It was the behemoth.
Yes.
It looks like there's multiple behemoths because there's a couple different behemoth-like creatures scattered throughout the game, which is brings up a great point. How are you going to scale and take down these giant things? Like the team at Skydance and the developers behind this, like. I think they understand what makes VR work and like what is compelling about VR, given that sense of scale. But I think it's also that flexibility and that improvisation. It just feels like it's fun to experiment with all of the toys they give you to play around with, and whether a VR game works or not is how it facilitates that improvisational nature of gameplay. And it looks like, again, you can just punch a dude's head off. So, hey, I'm sold.
I'm all for punching people in the face.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we got plenty more to discuss. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
IGN Summer of Gaming is presented by PlayStation. Days of Play are happening now until June 12th.
This June, IGN is hosting a huge in-person event, and we want you there with us. IGN Live brings the coolest things in games and entertainment to you, the fans. And it's jam-packed with awesome, like the cast and director of the upcoming Borderlands movie, the creator of Tetris, Alexei Pajitnov, Xbox's Phil Spencer, great games from PM Studios, new stuff from High on Life, Netflix's Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F.
Gonna be fine. They love me in Beverly Hills.
Plus, tons of giveaways and prizes, exclusive merch, playable game demos, celebrity interviews, live speedruns, your favorite IGN podcast in person.
I like that he's fired up.
And so much more. It all goes down June 7th through 9th at the Magic Box in downtown LA. Tickets are available now at IGN.com/live. IGN Live. Be there.
Want the ultimate IGN experience? Check out IGN Plus. Members get exclusive deals and giveaways, ad-free browsing, unlimited tracking on IGN Maps, discounts at the IGN store and with IGN partners. And best of all, free games. Get 30 days of IGN Plus for just $1. Head to plus.ign.com.
Have you ever been stuck on the same quest for just way too long? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help. IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and of course, free. You can even track your progress with handy checklists if you go for 100%, just like we do. Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN.
Hello, we are back. Now, we've been breaking down all the biggest announcements at the PlayStation State of Play today, which wasn't a PlayStation showcase, so don't call it a showcase. Although there was a lot that was showcased today. Of course, joining me, we have Jada and Nick. We saw a lot, and we also talked about a lot. One thing that I've noticed, though, that State of Play, there's no rivals that it has. But it did, in fact, have one rival. Yeah. And it's Marvel Rivals. I'm just looking at Nick's face.
I'm seeing you build the ramp.
Nick is like, I know, I see you cooking, Akeem. I know what you cooking up. Yes, we saw Marvel Rivals. That is, of course, a PvP.
I fixed my issue that I had.
And it's there's going to be closed beta coming in July to PlayStation 5. I'm looking forward to this just because I'm just a Marvel fan. I know some people are going to compare this to other games out there.
It's hard not to. It's using the same UI almost.
Yeah, the sound effects almost sound the same.
The hit markers, I was like, oh, that's the Overwatch.
Some of the maps look like pieces chunked out from Overwatch and combined together.
Yeah.
It's matched. Like, I'm not saying that as a bad thing. It's just, you're not gonna. It's impossible to not mention the other games when you're.
All right, guys, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for the these streams. I'm gonna switch over to a different game. I'm gonna restart the YouTube stream. So I want to cut out this part and yeah.
Now, based on the current state of
Thanks, guys.
Overwatch 2,
Later.
That could potentially take that crown away. But do you, Akeem?